So here's my verdict on these bows. I obviously went with the Hoyt VTM 34, and I'm still very happy that I went with this bow. However, we've got a review that all of you guys have been asking for. We've got the Mathews Phase 4 and the Hoyt VTM 34. So I hear people going back and forth online on some of my posts, oh, Mathews over Hoyt, Hoyt over Mathews. And I'm just gonna start right off the bat saying I love both of these bows. Both of these bows shoot freaking insane. The Mathews is dead, the VTM is dead. It's so hard to choose between the two. I can't make a decision between which one I like more. So it was kind of a coin flip for which one I bought. I ended up buying the Hoyt VTM. I'll let you guys know that right off the bat. I lost sleep thinking about the Phase 4 at night. This thing is awesome. The bridge lock system in it is really cool, and I'm just a big fan of what both companies did. They didn't change a whole lot, but the bows definitely shoot good, they're dead, and they're quiet. So let's jump right into this. So right here we have the 33-inch Phase 4. IBO rating is up to 336 feet a second. It's a pretty quick bow. It's a quiet bow too. Its brace height is 6.5 inches. Bare bow is 4.68 pounds. Pretty light bow. This bow feels really good in the hand. It feels really balanced, and I'm actually a fan of the weight. You can have an 80 or 85% let off on both of these bows. So if you look at these limbs right here, there's actually a piece of rubber that's running through them. And so Mathews' big thing this year is that they have 8 limbs on this bow, and this rubber is supposed to dampen a lot of the vibration, make the bow quieter, and feels really good. But I've heard a lot of people online saying, you know, what happens when it gets cold? What happens whenever it gets super hot? That rubber is going to shrink and expand. Apparently Mathews did a ton of testing on this, and they say that the elements aren't going to affect this. So I know a lot of people have been wondering about that, and I guess only time will tell on this bow. It's not a huge thing. I mean, the V3X didn't have this, but it's unique, and I think they kind of just wanted to wheel something new out. But the bow is definitely dead, and it's definitely more quiet than last year's model. So the biggest difference on this bow this year is the bridge lock system. So what you have here is you actually have an entire integrated stabilizing system that Mathews has made, and you got a little knob right here on the side, and your stabilizer can actually go in. You can pull it out. It's a really cool feature. Now, the knock on this is these stabilizers are a little pricey, but they fit the bow great, they look good, and the bow shoots excellent with them. The bow's super dead with them. So I'm not gonna get too much into that. You can make the decision on whether you wanna pay the money for these bad boys. Price on these is $259, I believe. Don't quote me, I'll throw it up here on the screen if I'm wrong, but $259. So I don't have an Allen key with me right now, but this little Allen key slot, you can loosen it and you can pull this cap off. These black slots right here, these are weights that you can take off, so you can change the weighting of your stabilizer, and it's a cool little integrated system that they have. Overall, I really like this Mathews Phase 4. It's a sweet bow, and there's a part of me that has been losing sleep because I kind of want to buy one and have a Hoyt and a Mathews. That's like a sacrilegious thing to do in the archery community. You're either Mathews or Hoyt, but I would love to own both of these bows. I love the way this Mathews shoots, and I also love the way the VTM shoots. So let's jump into the VTM. If I missed anything on this Mathews, sorry about it. Oh, I guess another benefit of the Mathews is you can actually change your poundage and your draw length with these modules that they have, and it's kind of limited to only Mathews. All the other bows, you gotta switch your limbs out, and Mathews makes it really convenient. So you can go to the store, you can buy, you know, your 60-pound module, and if you wanna go to 75 pounds, you can buy a 75-pound module. Whereas my Hoyt is a 70-pound bow, and if I wanted to go up to 80, I would have to replace my limbs. So hats off to Mathews there. That's a really, really convenient thing that they've done, and I'm a big fan of it. So moving on to the VTM 34, in my opinion, this is like the prettiest bow you can get on the market. This color is awesome, and then I added a little bit of purple accents. I kind of like them. They match the Spot Hog. But this is my personal bow. It's obviously going to be quite a bit heavier than the Mathews. And Mathews just has a stabilizer. I've got a back bar. I've got a 10-inch Hoyt stabilizer up here. I've got the Go Sticks. I've got the Spot Hog Fast Eddie XL, and then the Hoyt Integrate Rest, Hoyt Quiver, and then I've also got 4 arrows loaded down in this quiver. So let's go over some of the specs on this VTM 34. So your speeds, you're gonna have a 334 ATA on this bow. Brace height is 6¼ This bow weighs 4.8 pounds, bare bow, and then they have options for 30 to 80 pound draw on this bow. So that's a quick rundown on both of these bows. Now we're gonna be shooting them. Obviously it's not a fair comparison because my bow is kind of spec'd out to the way I like it. I feel like I'm pretty unbiased going into this. I mean, I've fallen in love with the Phase 4 already, so I'm not gonna say one bow's better than the other. I think they're both great bows. I'm sure you guys can argue down below in the comments and let me know which bow you would go with and why, or why you wouldn't go with a certain bow. So I'm open to hearing it. I'm open to everyone's opinions, and let's get right into it. All right, so first up, we've got the Phase 4. We're just gonna be throwing some shots downrange, getting a feel for, the bow and how it sounds and stuff. We don't have a back bar on this bow or a quiver, but we do have this front bridge lock stabilizer. This is the 10-inch version that they make. They also have a smaller one at 8 inches, and then Mathews is also coming out with a 12-inch one. So that will be an option coming soon. I think this stabilizer is super cool. It's super unique. One of the reasons I didn't go with the Mathews is because for me, it was hard to justify the price on the stabilizers. They're on the pricey side, but it is really nice that they pair with the bow so perfectly, and they do look pretty good. So let's get a couple shots in here. Feels so good. This bow is so dead in the hand. Mathews did a really good job here. I think I'm slapping arrows down there. This thing is dialed. This thing feels so good. See, there's a part of me that doesn't like shooting the Phase 4 because then it makes me start thinking, well, I kind of want a Phase 4 now. It's kind of a problem. Indecisiveness that I have. I do like that back valley that the VTM or that the Phase 4 drops into. Okay, I'm gonna walk down and see what we did. To all you Mathews guys that say Mathews over everything, I can see why you say that. It is a smooth shooter for sure. There's a part of me that wants to buy one. There's also a part of me that still loves my Hoyt. I wish I could have both. All right, now we are on to the VTM. This is my baby right here. Love this thing. So let's get some shots down range. The one thing I've noticed different that the VTM has from all the bows I've shot pretty much every new bow that there is the initial resistance at 70 pounds. So probably like from here to here, doesn't feel like 70. It feels a lot lighter than 70. And then I do like the valley that it drops into. I kind of like the Mathews a little bit better, that back end valley. But when I'm pulling 70 pounds with the VTM, it doesn't feel like 70, it feels like 60. And this bow is set at 70 pounds. I've noticed it, all the bows that I've shot next to it, this bow just feels like it's so much lighter than it really is. And I've seen a couple of reviews that have said that as well. So if that's a pain point for you, I'd go shoot one of these VTMs because that initial start feels pretty good, if that makes sense. Feels good. Love this bow. So if I had to choose one over the other, you guys already know what I chose. I chose the VTM. The reason I went with the VTM is feel. I loved the way it felt, and then also I'm in Utah, so I wanted to support a Utah company. I'm a big fan of Cameron Hanes too, so that also helped me sway over to Hoyt. But I love the color of this bourbon on this bow, and both of these bows are actually really quiet. The Mathews is quieter than the VTM, but they both sound ridiculously quiet. And then Hoyt's whole thing is, the more accessories you add, the quieter it's gonna be. So in this video, this bow could be a little bit quieter than the Mathews because I have the back bar and the stabilizer and all that on it. But I think if you're going apples to apples, the Mathews is a little bit quieter. But the draw on this, it's a lot smoother in my opinion. And there's gonna be some of you guys that say, dude, you're tripping out, you're you're smoking something for saying that this has a smoother draw. It's all personal opinion. Like, I'm not gonna say one thing's better over the other. I'm an extremely unbiased person. From my personal experience, I like the draw on this bow more. I mean, I spent 2 weeks coming back to the bow shop shooting these bows side by side because I was so indecisive. So there's no biasness here. The Mathews is phenomenal. The Hoyt is phenomenal. And I'm gonna just run some more shots through them so you guys can hear all these shots. All right, so let's pop a few more shots through this Mathews Phase 4. I love this bow, guys. Mathews look so good. They're sleek. And they just freaking look killer. See that part right there where I struggled? It feels so much heavier than the VTM. Trigger punch action for you there. This thing. So they call this system RPD, Resistance Phase Damping. Switch weight technology. Not too versed on the Mathews technology, so you guys can school me in the bottom. I'm doing a review, but there's still some schooling I need. I definitely don't know it all, but I do know that this bow shoots great and it feels smooth, and I know you won't be upset if you buy it. If you guys see me blink, it's because this freaking back tension is surprising me. It's not a back tension, it's actually a thumb release, but the back tension I'm getting from it. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up our shooting. My left shoulder, super tired. I've been trying to do 200 pull-ups a day at the gym, so trying to get my back muscles all built up, and I'm just sore today. So here's my verdict on these bows. I obviously went with the Hoyt VTM 34, and I'm still very happy that I went with this bow. However, I do love the way this bow feels. It's dead in hand, it's quiet, it's sleek, it is sexy. Everything about this bow is amazing. And I have a hard time making choices sometimes, but I do not regret going with my VTM 34. I will say, playing with fire there. I will say that on the draw cycle, I do like the VTM 34 a little more. That 70 pounds doesn't feel quite like 70 pounds, where 70 pounds on the Mathews, I'm struggling to get that back. And so that's the one thing I like the most. I think both of the bows are equally dead in hand. I don't think one is better than the other. The benefit of the Mathews is these modules. These modules are freaking money. Now, you don't have to be shooting 75 or 80 pounds to kill anything. These bows are gonna, kill anything that you hit well. So I wouldn't be stressing too much if you're wanting to go to the VTM and you're like, I'm gonna buy the 70, but I want 80. You would have to switch the limbs out, but I wouldn't even worry about it that much. So, I mean, that's my only knock there, is this module system is money. This bow's quiet. I bet fully loaded out, this thing is freaking deader than dead. I don't even have a back bar on this. I just have this front 10-inch on it, and it feels great. Let me know what you guys think down below. I didn't jump too in depth. I just wanted to make a quick video on my opinions, my thoughts. Remember, I'm not saying buy one over the other. I'm saying go shoot these. Go shoot 4 or 5 different bow brands back to back. In my opinion, the Mathews and the Hoyt, hands down the best bows that are made. I've shot the Bowtech. I don't think it feels as refined as the Mathews does or the VTM 34. I believe these bows are both coming in at the same price point, $1349, which isn't bad. I mean, it's still a pricey chunk to pay, but you're buying the best of the best. This is like, Lamborghini and McLaren status of the bow world here. So I can justify that price all day for these bows. They shoot great. They're amazing. Do you need to upgrade? I don't know. That's a question you got to ask yourself. I didn't need to upgrade from an RX-5. And some would even say, dude, you didn't upgrade. You went from the carbon bow to aluminum bow. The RX-5 shot a lot better than the VTM 34. It's all opinion. I like the way the VTM feels a little more than my old carbon bow. The old carbon bow was great. And I say old, it's still a new carbon bow, but it's all preference, guys. This whole like arguing back and forth on what's better over the other, it's all preference. It's all comfort. Go film them, go hold them, go shoot them, go look at them, go touch them, do some research on them. My opinion on these two bows. I love them. Let me know what you'd go with. Also, if you're enjoying these videos, be sure to drop a sub, like this video, correct me in the comments. Let me know what I need to add to these videos. Let me know what I need to take out. And I look forward to seeing your feedback. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.